Today in the Kickoff Zone, we're counting down facts about the New Orleans Saints that we think you won't believe. From their inception to their Aints days and that glorious Super Bowl victory, we're revealing some unique, lesser-known facts about the Saints that even the most die-hard NFL fans might not know. And trust me, number one is worth waiting for. So grab your beignets, beads, and let's start this parade.
Woo! What a day for some football, baby!
Number 10. Sir Saint and Gumbo. Let's kick things off with a tale as colorful as a Mardi Gras parade. The New Orleans Saints have not one, but two mascots, each with a unique backstory that's as lively as the city itself. First up, it's Sir Saint. Imagine a knight who got lost on his way to Camelot and ended up in New Orleans. With his knightly attire and a chin that looks like it could deflect a football, Sir Saint has been rallying fans since the team's early days. He's the kind of mascot who looks ready to charge into battle if that battle was a tailgate party. Then there's Gumbo the dog, named after the city's favorite dish. Originally a real St. Bernard, Gumbo wandered the sidelines with the same enthusiasm as the fans in the stands. Eventually, they switched to a costumed version because, let's face it, a 100-pound dog isn't the easiest thing to manage at a crowded game. Now Gumbo bounces around the field, spreading joy without the slobber. Number 9. Ambush. Halftime at Super Bowl 44, and the Saints are trailing the Colts. Rookie punter Tommy Morstead is handed a task no one saw coming. Coach Sean Payton decides to pull off ambush, an onside kick to start the second half. Morstead, probably still shaking from the news, steps up and delivers. The kick catches everyone off guard, and the Saints recover the ball. This wasn't just any onside kick. It was the first ever attempted before the fourth quarter in Super Bowl history. Jonathan Casillas played a crucial role, clearing the way for the recovery. This gutsy move shifted the game's momentum, leading to the Saints' spoiler alert, first Super Bowl victory. Number 8. Who Dat facts. The Who Dat chant isn't just a rallying cry, it's a piece of New Orleans history. The chant traces its roots back to minstrel shows in the late 19th century and was popularized in the jazz era. But here's a twist. The chant wasn't initially for the Saints. It was first used by Southern University and St. Augustine High School in the 1960s. The Saints adopted it in 1983 thanks to a catchy song by local musicians, including Aaron Neville. Neville, along with his fellow musicians, recorded a version of When the Saints Go Marching In that featured the Who Dat chant. This recording turned Who Dat into a phenomenon and cemented it in Saints culture. Number 7. 14 Shades of Defeat with a rushing silver lining. The early years of the Saints were rough, to say the least. They endured a 14-game losing streak during the 1980 season, tying for the 19th longest in NFL history. At least they weren't the Buccaneers, who perfected losing with a 26-game streak. But here's the kicker. Amidst the chaos, the Saints managed a streak of 10 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. Thanks to running backs like Jimmy Rogers, Jack Holmes, and Wayne Wilson, they showed they could at least run, even if they couldn't run away from losing. So while the Saints were racking up losses, they were also racking up yards, proving there's always a silver lining, even if it's buried under 14 losses. Number 6. The Aints ain't it. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the Saints were so bad that fans invented a new look, paper bags over their heads, proudly calling themselves the Aints. Imagine showing up to cheer for your team, but you're too embarrassed to show your face. It was a mix of humor and heartbreak. Here's a twist. The idea came from local sportscaster Buddy Diliberto. Inspired by the Gong Show's unknown comic, he suggested fans wear bags to show their displeasure. Fans ran with it, customizing their bags with eye holes, messages, and decorations, turning games into a unique protest fashion show. Even in the worst seasons, Saints fans knew how to keep it real and a little ridiculous. Who needs a winning record when you've got a paper bag and a sense of humor? Number 5. The Dome Patrol. The Saints' Dome Patrol of the late 1980s and early 1990s was a quarterback's worst nightmare. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, Vaughn Johnson, and Pat Swilling made up this fearsome foursome. Fun fact, they helped the Saints achieve the most shutouts in the league during their peak, tying with the Buffalo Bills with 6 shutouts between 1987 and 1992. These guys were like the Avengers of defense, ranking second in points allowed and third in yards allowed from 1987 to 1992. Despite all this, they never won a playoff game. Maybe the offense was just too busy napping, or maybe it was just bad luck. Either way, they made the Superdome a terrifying place for any visiting team. Defense might not win championships, but it sure made Sundays exciting in New Orleans. Number 4. Katrina, Chaos, and the Comeback. Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans in 2005, and the devastation was immense. The Superdome, home of the Saints, was turned into a shelter for thousands, and the Saints had to play their home games elsewhere. But here's a twist. Did you know the Saints almost moved permanently? Rumors swirled about a potential relocation to San Antonio or even Los Angeles, and it took some serious negotiations to keep the team in New Orleans. Despite the chaos, the Saints made an incredible comeback. When they returned to the Superdome in 2006, the atmosphere was electric. Their first game back featured a dramatic blocked punt by Steve Gleason, a play so iconic it has a statue outside the dome. This game wasn't just a win, it was a symbol of the city's resilience and determination to rebuild and move forward. Number 3. Born on All Saints' Day. The New Orleans Saints were officially born on November 1, 1966. Fittingly, All Saints' Day. The timing was no accident. It was a nod to the city's rich Catholic heritage. NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle announced the team's formation, and the name Saints was an obvious choice. But here's the kicker. The Saints nearly missed out on their holy name. Other contenders included the Angels and Crescents. As if by divine intervention, the name stuck, and the Saints were ready to march in. The team's creation sparked immediate excitement, selling 20,000 season tickets on the first day. And let's not forget the first game in 1967, where they wowed the crowd with a 94-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Though they lost the game, it was a heavenly start for a team destined to become a New Orleans icon. Number 2. Finally champions. In 2010, the New Orleans Saints finally reached the NFL pinnacle by winning Super Bowl 44. We've already covered the gutsy ambush onside kick, but wait, there's more! Drew Brees was unstoppable, completing 32 of 39 passes for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns, tying the Super Bowl record for most completions and earning MVP honors. Tracy Porter's game-sealing interception return for a touchdown was the cherry on top. And kicker Garrett Hartley nailed 3 field goals of 40 yards or more, a Super Bowl first. The victory parade? Pure Mardi Gras madness, blending the city's spirit with the Saints' triumph. The win wasn't just about football. It symbolized the resilience and recovery of New Orleans post-Katrina. Number 1. Beads and Saints, a match made in NOLA. The New Orleans Saints and Mardi Gras go together like beads and king cake. After the Saints won Super Bowl 44, the victory parade seamlessly blended into Mardi Gras festivities. So imagine winning the biggest game of your life, then rolling right into the world's most famous party. Here's the kicker. The Saints have their own crew, the Crew of Saints, which participates in Mardi Gras parades, tossing out Saints-themed throws. And let's not forget the epic Super Bowl parade that felt more like a Mardi Gras float party, complete with players showering fans with beads and love. It's like Mardi Gras decided to adopt the Saints as its own. Ever caught a Mardi Gras parade and noticed those black and gold beads flying? That's the Saints' influence, turning football victories into full-blown carnival celebrations. In New Orleans, football isn't just a game, it's a way of life, celebrated with the same passion and flair as Mardi Gras itself. Who else can say their championship parade doubles as a legendary street party? That wraps up our countdown of the 10 things you didn't know about the New Orleans Saints. From their quirky mascots to their legendary Dome Patrol, and from their paperback protests to Super Bowl glory, the Saints have a rich and colorful history that's as unique as New Orleans itself. We hope you enjoyed this journey through some of the lesser-known and entertaining facts about this iconic NFL team. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow NFL and All Saints fans, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing NFL content. Hit that bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. And remember, in the words of every true Saints fan, Who Dat? Who Dat? Who Dat say they gonna beat them Saints? Thanks for watching.